let's talk about a dynamic that completely flips the script on everything we're taught about pursuit and desire. We're discussing a shift in energy so profound that it doesn't just change the game, it changes the very players involved. This isn't about playing mind games or employing cheap tricks. This is about understanding the fundamental principles of human psychology and value, and applying them with integrity to transform your entire life, with the byproduct being a complete reversal of pursuit. The entire architecture of this process rests on a single, non-negotiable foundation: your why. Why are you stepping away? Why are you initiating this period of no contact? If the answer is to make her miss you, to punish her, to make her jealous, or to strategically manipulate her into chasing you, you have already lost. She will feel that energy even from a distance. The intention behind the action is everything. The only why that has any power, any authenticity, any lasting effect is that you are choosing yourself. You are choosing to reclaim the pieces of yourself that you may have lost in the dynamic. You are choosing to heal, to rebuild, to recenter your life on your mission and your purpose, irrespective of her or any other woman. This period is not about her. It is a sacred time for you. It is a declaration that your peace, your growth, and your self-respect are no longer negotiable. When this is your genuine foundation, every action that follows carries a weight of truth that cannot be faked. From this place of authentic intent, the real work begins. No contact is not a passive waiting game. It is not you sitting in your room, staring at your phone, counting the days until you can text her again. That is neediness in silence. True no contact is the most active, transformative period of your life. Your singular focus must be on becoming a man who is unrecognizable from the one she knew. This is evolution on every level. Physically, you are training your body, not for her, but for the confidence and discipline it gives you. Mentally, you are consuming knowledge, developing new skills, and stretching your intellect. Emotionally, you are doing the hard work through therapy, journaling, or meditation to understand your patterns, heal your attachments, and become a source of your own validation. Spiritually, you are reconnecting with a sense of purpose that is larger than any relationship. You are building a life so compelling, so rich, and so full of passion that the idea of you pining for anyone becomes laughable. You are not just getting over her. You are becoming a man who is so far beyond the version that attracted her initially. This is crucial. People are drawn to evolution. They are captivated by growth. When she eventually gets a glimpse of this new man, her curiosity will not be about, does he still like me? It will be about, what happened to him? Who did he become? This is the hook. You have become a new mystery, and the human mind is irresistibly drawn to solve a mystery. And during this transformation, your silence is your most powerful messenger. In an age of constant digital noise, where everyone is oversharing and seeking attention, conscious silence is deafening. By removing your energy, your reactions, and your digital footprint from her world, you create a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum, and the human psyche abhors it even more. She is left with a narrative she wrote in her mind about why you left and who you are, but with no data to update it. Her curiosity will begin to eat away at her. She will wonder why you aren't looking for her. She will question her own impact on you. She will check, she will wonder, she will speculate. Your absence forces her to confront the space you once occupied, and in that space, her imagination will begin to run wild. But it can only run in a positive direction if you are actually genuinely becoming a better man. If you are just hiding, the silence speaks of weakness. If you are transforming, the silence speaks of power. When the time comes for that first point of contact, it cannot be a grand gesture. It cannot be a dramatic, emotional confession that would shatter the entire frame you've built. The re-entry must be strategic, subtle, and utterly devoid of neediness. It is a low-energy, high-value action. Perhaps a simple, casual message that assumes positive intent and offers a glimpse into your new world without seeking validation. Something that references a shared, positive memory or an inside joke, but from a place of warmth, not longing. The message is not the point, the energy behind it is. You are not reaching out to get something from her. You are extending a casual invitation for her to witness the new reality you have built. You are the prize, and you are allowing her a glance at the trophy. The tone is key light, unassuming, and free from the weight of expectation. This is where your life outside of her becomes your greatest asset. Your transformation cannot exist in a vacuum. It must be validated by the world around you. This is the principle of social proof. When she inevitably looks you up, and she will, what does she see? Does she see a man who is isolated, waiting, and frozen in time? Or does she see a man who is thriving? Photos with friends, achievements in your career, engagement in meaningful hobbies, and yes, even the apparent attention from other attractive, high-value women. This is not about flaunting. It is about demonstrating through the undeniable evidence of your lived experience that you are a man in demand, that your value is recognized by your peers and your community. This makes your transformation real and tangible. It removes any notion that your silence was about pining and reinforces that it was about building. It shows that your world has expanded, not contracted, in her absence. Finally, and this is the thread that ties everything together, you must master the frame of abundance. From the first moment of interaction after the silence, your energy must radiate the unshakable, knowing that your life is incredible with or without her. Every word, every text, every interaction is filtered through this lens. You are not negotiating for a place in her life. You are calmly assessing if she qualifies for a place in yours. You are happy to see her, but you are not needy for her attention. You are open to connection, but you are not attached to the outcome. This frame of abundance is the ultimate magnet. It communicates that you are complete. Women and people in general are instinctively drawn to those who are full, those who choose them rather than need them. You are not a beggar offering a seat at your empty table. You are a king considering whether she would be a valuable addition to your already vibrant court. This shift in energy from scarcity to abundance, from neediness to wholeness, is what ultimately makes her not just want you, but compellingly, irresistibly need to chase you. Because she realizes that to not have you in her life is not a loss for you, it is a profound loss for her. The entire architecture of this process, every action, every silent day, every eventual interaction rests upon a single critical foundation, your intention, your why. This is the bedrock, the core energy that will permeate every aspect of the journey and ultimately determine its success or failure. Understanding this distinction is the difference between a powerful, authentic transformation and a manipulative parlor trick that will ultimately backfire. Let's be brutally honest. The ego, in its wounded state, will present you with a multitude of tempting but toxic reasons to initiate no contact. It will whisper that this is a brilliant strategy to make her miss you, to punish her for her actions, to teach her a lesson, to make her regret losing you, or to strategically manipulate her emotions until she comes crawling back. If any of these are your underlying motivation, I urge you to stop now. You are embarking on a path that will lead to more pain, more frustration, and a deeper cycle of neediness. Why? Because these intentions are rooted in a fundamental focus on her actions, her feelings, her choices. You are still giving her all the power. You are simply using silence as a new tool in the same old game of seeking external validation. And people on a subconscious level can feel this energy, even from a distance, even through silence. The energy of manipulation and punishment is palpable. It feels weak, not strong. It feels desperate, not empowered. The only why that carries any genuine power, any magnetic force, is the one that is entirely and unequivocally focused on you. No contact must be initiated for one reason and one reason only. You are choosing yourself. You are declaring with your actions that your peace, your sanity, your self-respect, and your personal growth are no longer negotiable. You are recognizing that the dynamic, whatever it was, has thrown you off your center. You have likely become enmeshed, anxious, and reactive. Your mission has taken a backseat to her moods. Your happiness has become contingent on her attention. This period of radio silence is not a tactic aimed at her. It is a sacred container for your own healing and reclamation. It is a time to surgically remove the source of the distraction, her presence, both physical and digital, so you can remember who you are without the noise of the relationship. This is a time for you to grieve, to feel the pain, to sit with the emptiness, and then to begin the deliberate daily work of filling that emptiness with yourself, your purpose, your passions, your brotherhood, your health, your journey. This why is pure. It is authentic. It is an act of self-love, not a strategy of war. When your intention is self-reclamation, every day of silence is infused with a different energy. You aren't counting the days until you can break it. You are using the days to build a new you. You aren't wondering what she's thinking. You are focused on what you are becoming. This fundamental shift in intention changes everything. It means that if she never comes back, you still win because you have won yourself back. You have become a stronger, more grounded, more purpose-driven man. And that, paradoxically, is the very thing that becomes irresistibly attractive. Authenticity has a frequency that cannot be counterfeited. A woman can feel the difference between a man who is silent because he's trying to get a result from her and a man who is silent because he is busy building his empire. The former feels like a game. The latter feels like power. Your why is the seed. Plant the seed of manipulation and you will harvest more chaos. Plant the seed of self-mastery and you will harvest unshakable confidence and quite possibly her genuine intrigued pursuit. The most common and catastrophic error a man can make during a period of no contact is to perceive it as a passive waiting game. This is the belief that the mere act of withholding communication is in itself a powerful strategy that will magically yield results. This is a delusion of the highest order. Silence alone is not a magnet. It is merely an empty space. If that space is filled with the same old energy, the same lack of purpose, the same unresolved neediness, then your silence communicates only one thing: you are hiding and you are weak. The true power of this period is not in the absence of communication, but in the furious, dedicated, and transformative activity you undertake within the absence. The goal is not to wait for her to change her mind. The goal is to become a man who is so evolved, so upgraded, and so fundamentally different that her mind has no choice but to be completely rewired when she eventually encounters you again. This is not about making minor tweaks. This is about a total metamorphosis. You are not aiming to be a slightly better version of the man she left. You are aiming to become a man she barely recognizes, a man who forces a double take. This evolution must be comprehensive, touching every pillar of your existence. It begins with the physical, the most visible and immediate representation of change. Your body is your temple, and it broadcasts your level of discipline and self-respect to the world. This is not about achieving a bodybuilder's physique for vanity. It is about the daily act of showing up for yourself, pushing your limits, channeling your pain and frustration into physical fuel, forging a body that radiates health, vitality, and capability. The confidence that comes from this transformation is not arrogance. It is the quiet knowledge that you have mastered your own physical vessel. But a transformed body without a transformed mind is a hollow shell. Your intellectual and professional evolution is the next critical pillar. What are you learning? What new skill are you acquiring that makes you more valuable in the marketplace? How are you stretching your mind with books that challenge your perspectives, with courses that expand your capabilities, with projects that ignite your ambition? This is where you rebuild your mission. You must become so consumed by your purpose, your work, your art, your business, your cause, that your identity is no longer tied to being horror X, but to being a man on a path of mastery. This focus is magnetic. It gives you a sense of direction that is independent of any relationship, and that independence is the core of true attraction. The deepest and most crucial work, however, happens at the emotional and spiritual level. This is the internal engineering. This is where you must do the uncomfortable work of excavating your patterns. Why did you become so needy? What childhood wound had you hoping she would fill it? What fears of abandonment or rejection were you trying to soothe with her validation? This requires brutal honesty, often with the help of therapy, journaling, or deep meditation. You are learning the art of self-validation, of becoming the source of your own emotional security. You are cultivating a profound sense of inner peace that cannot be shaken by external events. This is the work that eliminates neediness at its root. You are no longer a cup waiting to be filled. You become a fountain, overflowing with your own self-assured energy. When you emerge from this period, you are not the same man. Your posture is different. Your eyes hold a new depth of calm certainty. Your conversation is laced with the passion of your purpose, and your energy radiates a wholeness that is palpable. This is what makes her chase. It is not the silence. It is the shocking, intriguing, and undeniable evidence of your evolution. She isn't just missing the old you. She is confronted with a new man who is more aligned, more powerful, more at peace. And the human spirit is instinctively drawn to evolution. It creates a curiosity that is irresistible. She will not be chasing a memory. She will be chasing the thrilling mystery of who you have become. In the immediate aftermath of a breakup or a period of tension, the primal ego-driven impulse is to communicate, to explain, to plead, to negotiate, to justify, or to seek closure. We operate under the false belief that more words will somehow fix the situation, that if we can just articulate our point perfectly, we can control the outcome and the other person's perception of us. This is an illusion. In reality, in moments of high emotion, words are cheap, plentiful, and almost always work against you. They betray your neediness, your anxiety, your lack of options. They make you predictable and therefore uninteresting. The most radical and powerful action you can take is the conscious, deliberate choice to become silent. But this is not a passive silence. This is not you having nothing to say. This is a strategic, potent silence that speaks louder than any words ever could. You are not saying nothing. You are communicating a profound message through your absence. Your sudden and complete withdrawal of energy creates a vacuum in her world. One day you were a source of attention, reaction, and validation, whether positive or negative. The next day you are gone, not just physically, but digitally, emotionally. You have vanished from her social media feed, her inbox, her notifications. This vacuum is deeply unsettling to the human psyche. We are wired to seek resolution, to complete patterns, to understand our environment. Your unexplained absence breaks a pattern she had become accustomed to, and it forces her brain to work overtime to solve the puzzle. What is he doing? Why isn't he reacting? Why hasn't he tried to contact me? Is he hurt? Is he moving on? Is he with someone else? The questions themselves are not the point. The act of her asking them is, you have shifted the energy entirely. You are no longer the pursuer seeking her validation. You have become an unanswered question that her mind is now compelled to pursue. This is where your silence becomes your most compelling narrator. It is telling a story, but it is allowing her to write the chapters herself. The man she remembers, the one who may have been reactive and emotionally available on her terms, is no longer responding. This forces a profound shift in her perception. Without new data from you, she is left only with the last version of you she knew and her own imagination. If your last interaction was one of dignity and strength, that is a memory that sits unchallenged. If you are simultaneously undergoing your own transformation, the unrecognizable evolution, then the silence acts as a curtain, hiding the incredible work happening backstage. When that curtain eventually lifts, the contrast will be staggering. Your silence also serves a second, equally vital purpose. It protects your energy and your transformation. Every time you break no contact, to send a reactive text, to check in, to wish a happy birthday or to post something aimed at her, you are pouring your valuable energy back into a dynamic that drained you. You are polluting the vacuum you worked so hard to create. You are giving her a data point that says, I am still here, thinking about you, reacting to you. You shatter the mystery and reveal yourself to be exactly where she left you. Strategic silence, on the other hand, allows you to hoard your energy. Every ounce of effort that you would have wasted on trying to communicate with her is now redirected inward, fueling your gym sessions, your work projects, your healing. It is the ultimate act of self-discipline, and it pays compound interest. The longer you maintain this dignified silence, the more powerful the vacuum becomes and the more focused your own growth will be. You are not giving her the opportunity to see a version of you that is still healing, still uncertain, still in process. You are allowing her to see the finished product only when it is ready. In this way, your silence is not just a message to her. It is the protective barrier within which you become a new man. It is the cocoon, and within its quiet embrace, the transformation occurs unseen until the moment you choose to reveal the result. The moment of breaking no contact is the most critical juncture in this entire process. It is the point where all your work, your discipline, and your transformation is put to the ultimate test. Most men fail here catastrophically. They misinterpret the silence as a timer, and once it dings, they come bursting back onto the scene with the same needy energy they supposedly left with. They break the silence with a grand emotional declaration, a long text about how much they've reflected, a plea to talk, a confession of how difficult the time apart has been. This is not breaking no contact. This is surrendering. It instantly communicates that the entire period was an agonizing wait for her, that your transformation was a performance, and that you were counting the seconds until you could resume your position as the pursuer. It vaporizes the mystery, confirms her centrality in your universe, and eliminates any urge for her to chase. You have, in one message, undone months of work. Strategic re-entry is the polar opposite of this. It is not an emotional unveiling. It is a subtle, almost casual reintroduction of your energy into her sphere. The goal is not to announce your return, but to simply be back with a new and compelling energy that piques her interest without demanding it. Think of it not as kicking the door down, but as leaving it slightly ajar with a fascinating light shining from the other side, inviting her to peek in. The energy behind this initial contact must be one of assumption and lightness. You are assuming the past is the past, that there is no lingering awkwardness, and that you are simply reaching out as a new person who has fond memories of an old friend. The method and content of this first contact are everything. It should be low investment on your part and high value in its perception. A long, heartfelt message is high investment and reeks of desperation. A simple text, often the most effective method, should be brief, reference a positive shared memory or an inside joke, and contain zero emotional weight. For example, hey, I was just listening to High Band you both liked, and it reminded me of that incredible concert. Hope you're doing well. Notice what this does not do. It does not ask to meet. It does not say, I miss you. It does not ask how she is in a way that demands a long, emotional update. It is a simple, nostalgic ping that comes from a place of genuine positive memory, not lack or need. This kind of message is powerful because it does several things at once. First, it breaks the tension of silence without making it a big deal. Second, it associates you with a positive memory, triggering dopamine and fondness. Third, and most importantly, it offers a glimpse into your new reality without explanation. The subtext is, I am out in the world, living my life, and I am so at peace that I can fondly remember us without it destroying me. This is utterly intriguing. It leaves her with more questions than answers. Why is he so casual? Why isn't he asking to get back together? What has he been doing that has made him so neutral? By not seeking a specific outcome, you put the ball firmly in her court, but on your terms. You have initiated contact, but you have not pursued. You have invited a response, but you have not demanded it. This is the essence of sparking the chase. You have given her a reason to want to engage, but you have placed the responsibility on her to do so. You are not chasing, you are leading. And the first step of that leadership is a subtle, confident invitation to step back into your world, a world that has clearly continued to spin and improve in her absence. Human beings are not islands. We are social creatures hardwired to take cues from our tribe. We inherently assign greater value to things and people that are already valued by others. This is not a shallow concept. It is a fundamental principle of social psychology known as social proof. In the context of making her chase you after no contact, your personal transformation, no matter how profound, remains a subjective claim if it exists in a vacuum. You can tell her you've changed. Unless that change is validated by the world around you, it is just your word against her memory. Your mission, therefore, is not just to become a high-value man, but to ensure that your value is recognized, celebrated, and made visible by a vibrant social ecosystem. You must become a man in demand whose worth is attested to by the quality of his life and the respect of his peers. This is where most men fail in their reinvention. They work on themselves in isolation, believing that the internal changes will be enough. But internal changes, while the absolute priority, require external validation to become undeniable. Think of it as a brilliant product with no customer reviews or a masterpiece painting hidden in a basement. Its value is potential, but not proven. Social proof is the 5-star review. It is the gallery exhibition. It is the public evidence that your transformation is real and that your value is recognized by others. When she inevitably looks for you, and she will, what does she see? Does your social media profile tell the story of a man who is isolated, stuck, and frozen in time? Or does it offer glimpses into a life that is rich, dynamic, and full of connection? Photos with a strong, laughing group of friends. Check-ins at interesting events or venues. Achievement celebrated by your community. This isn't about fabricating a life. It's about authentically building one and allowing it to be seen. The most potent form of social proof, and the one that truly captures the female imagination, is the apparent attention from other high-value women. This is not about staging photos or using someone. It is about genuinely expanding your social circle to include charismatic, attractive, and interesting women. When you are seen in the company of other desirable women, whether as friends or more, it communicates a world of unspoken truths. It signals that you are not languishing. It demonstrates that you are emotionally intelligent and capable of healthy connection. Most powerfully, it shows that your value is recognized by the very demographic she belongs to. It triggers a deep-seated competitive instinct and a fear of missing out. She is forced to confront a shocking new reality. Other women see what she once had, and they are interested. You are no longer a sure thing sitting on the shelf. You are a coveted item in a lively auction, and she must decide if she's willing to bid. This principle dismantles any residual notion she might have had that you were sitting at home pining for her. It provides tangible, irrefutable evidence that your world did not end when she left. It expanded. It became more colorful, more social, and more fulfilling. This makes your silence not an act of weakness, but one of power. It shows that you were not giving her the silent treatment. You were simply too busy building a fantastic new life to be preoccupied with the past. This perception is crucial for sparking the chase. She isn't just curious about the man you became in private. She is intimidated and intrigued by the social world you now command. She realizes that winning you back is no longer a simple matter of her granting you attention. It is a matter of her having to re-qualify for a place in a life that is now populated with other interesting people, including other women. You have shifted the dynamic entirely. You are not asking to be let back into her world. You are presenting your new, vibrant world and allowing her to wonder if she can even get back into it. The final and most critical element that determines whether she chases you or simply pities you is the energy you radiate in every interaction. This energy is governed by your core mindset, your internal operating system, which I call your frame. Most men operate from a frame of scarcity. This mindset is rooted in fear, lack, and the belief that opportunities, especially with high-quality women, are rare. This energy manifests as neediness, desperation, and a willingness to negotiate for the bare minimum of respect. It is the energy of a beggar, and it is instantly repulsive. After no contact, if you approach her from this frame of scarcity, needing her validation, fearing her rejection, seeing her as your only option, you have already lost, regardless of how much you've improved externally. The mindset you must cultivate, embody, and master is the frame of abundance. This is not an act you put on. It is a deep internal knowing that your world is already complete and overflowing with value. It is the unwavering belief that your life is fantastic with or without her, that you are a prize, and that opportunities for connection with amazing people are plentiful. This frame communicates that you are not missing a piece. You are a whole man considering whether someone new might be a wonderful addition to your already fulfilling life. This shift is everything. It moves you from a position of supplication to a position of discernment. This frame of abundance dictates every aspect of your communication. Your tone is light and assumptive, not heavy and needy. You are not seeking to extract value from her. You are offering value from your own overflow. In conversations, you are genuinely curious and engaged, but not outcome dependent. You can walk away from the interaction without your day being ruined because your happiness is not contingent on her response. Your validation comes from within, from your mission, and from your own self-appraisal. This makes you calm, centered, and emotionally unreactive. You are no longer a puppet whose strings she can pull. You are the puppet master, fully in control of your own emotional state. When you interact with her from this place, you are not interviewing for a job in her life. You are calmly assessing whether she meets the standards to qualify for a place in yours. This is the ultimate power shift. You are the selector, not the selected. This does not mean being arrogant or dismissive. It means having such high self-worth that you naturally have standards and boundaries. It means you are observing her actions. Is she making an effort? Is she adding positive energy to my life? Does she align with the values of the man I have become? This discerning energy is incredibly attractive because it communicates supreme self-confidence. Tells her that your attention and commitment are valuable commodities that must be earned through action, not given away through neediness. She will feel this shift in energy profoundly. The man she knew may have been anxious and eager to please. The man before her now is calm, confident, content. This triggers a deep primal instinct. She realizes that you do not need her, and that very realization makes her want you. It activates her fear of loss, not of losing a needy man, but of losing a high-value man who has other options. She is no longer the prize, you are. And when a woman perceives a man as the prize, her entire psychology shifts. She begins to qualify herself to you. She invests more effort. She initiates contact. She becomes the one who is concerned about losing your interest. She begins to chase. This is the final master key. The chase is not activated by a tactic. It is ignited by the irresistible energy of a man who knows his own worth and lives in a world of abundant possibility.